Hello, my Twitter and YouTube followers. It is I, Platinum. And the reason for today's entry is I don't know whether you've seen, but there is a young man who took NXT by storm, and now he's taking Raw by storm. That man is, of course, Neville. And recently, his match with Dolph Ziggler was amazing. I loved that match. The show off the Man versus Gravity forgot. Absolutely incredible. I would love to see those two go toe to toe at pay per view. Maybe even for the Intercontinental title or something. That would be amazing. Those two going at it in a proper feud. But they're both baby faces now, so it's not something that we want to see regularly. But those two going at it would be incredible. Anyway, I decided I would tell an epic Neville story from how I remember him. And for people who don't know, when I used to wrestle years ago, I was the DWF champion. I was DWF champion about 10 times. And I actually retired as DWF champion. They let me do that, so massive thanks to them. But during my time with DWF, I also was doing shows on and off for IWF. At one point, I came to IWF and I was trying to break into their ranks, but I was more attached to DWF. And I remember doing a show years ago. We'll go back to like June 2004 to 2004. Yeah, 2004. June 2004. And I remember going back there. I was there as DWF champion, and a really great guy, Sean Avery, who did the training at IWF. He was like one of the main trainers. He says to me one day, he says, "Look, Dave, do you want to go against a new lad?" And I'm like, "New lad?" I don't know. Last I remember, I was the new lad. He goes, "Well, he's just off a feud with so he's just off not a feud, a couple of matches with the Assassin, and the crowd really loves him, and I think you two will have a good laugh." I went, "Yeah, fine, I'll go against him. I'll have to win." "Look, here's what we're gonna do. We know that the title you've got at DWF can't change hands." I went, "Right." They went, "So it won't." I went, "Okay, fair enough, yeah." Because back then, the DWF, although I was at IWF as DWF champ, although I was at IWF as the DWF champion, I carried the belt with me all the time and all that. And what I did not do, what the agreement IWF had with me was that DWF had, sorry. See, I'm getting confused. This is all the IWFs, DWFs and all that. But DWF said the title can't change hands unless it's at a DWF event. And I was like, fair enough. And IWF were decent enough with that. Anyway, what I remember happening was I met him a few hours before the show, and they said, his name's PAC. And I was like, okay. So, I'm sat there. I mean, this is in Gateshead, this show, and I'm sat backstage, and this little, and I say little, he is pretty short, but this little 17-year-old lad comes walking through the door in a pair of grey joggy bottoms and a Newcastle United shirt, and I'm immediately thinking, "Oh great, I'm gonna get sticky because I'm sat in a Borough shirt." But he walks up, he goes, and he walks up and he goes, "You Dave?" I went, yeah. He went, "Oh, I'm Ben." I went, "Oh, nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you." Talking away, and immediately I got the sense that he was a high flyer type of wrestler, and that's an understatement, but carry on. And they said, "Right, okay, here's what we're going to do, blah, 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 blah." And I remember reading, listening to the story and thinking, no, this is probably, is this going to work? Is this going to look right? And I remember going out there, and obviously my music hit. I came out as a champion, and the plan was I was going to issue an open challenge to anyone in the IWF who thinks they can take the DWF title off me. And lo and behold, PAC answers the challenge. We get in the ring, and immediately it is a split crowd. It was, it was literally like you had the hardcore IWF fans who were like, PAC, 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 PAC. There's one guy at the front who's like, PAC! I absolutely loved that guy. He was brilliant. Everything Ben did, he was PAC! PAC! Absolutely loved the guy, and I thought he was amazing. But there was a few of the DWF fans that had come with me, and they were all going, Davey Platinum, Davey Platinum. So I remember looking at the crowd thinking, wow, this is getting amazing. It was a split crowd. And we go into the match, and for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, this match was, two contrasting styles, because PAC, of course, the high flyer, Platinum, of course, the brawler, and I was like a little bit technical, more of a brawler, and, known to dabble in hardcore. But I remember he hit me with, what was it? The amount of times he bounced off that top rope and hit me with something, I lost count. And for a lot of the match, he was flipping and landing on his feet. I remember at one point, he got up top and he went to do a shooting star press, or something along those lines. I'm assuming it was a shooting star press, but I remember he flipped in midair to do something, and I rolled out the way thinking, he'll hit the floor, hurt himself, I'll walk into the Platinum finish. Right? And I rolled out the way, I looked up, he landed on his feet. And he looked back at me and just gave me a smile as if to say, now what are you going to do? And I'm like, oh my God, how did you beat this guy? So, hit him with a Platinum finish, thinking, yeah, got you. Into the cover, 1, 2, boom, shoulder comes up. I'm like, what? And I looked at the crowd all went nuts. So obviously you got the whole crowd now chanting, PAC, 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 PAC. I'm like, oh my God, if he doesn't win, there's going to be a riot. And it was amazing. He wasn't using the red arrow back then as his finisher. I think it was something senton or something, a shooting star senton or something along those lines. But I'm pretty sure it was the same move. He just calls it the red arrow now. But he flipped off the top rope, and corkscrewed and bam, splashed me. And I remember sitting there thinking, I've got to kick out of this. I can't move. So 1, 2, and shoulder came up. And obviously, that was his turn to look at the crowd like, what? Then you got the crowd, Davey Platinum, Davey Platinum. And then it was, it went backwards and forwards, and it was, at one point I heard the crowd going, this is awesome, this is awesome. I'm thinking, wow, what a match this is. This guy's carrying it. This guy carrying the match on his own back. And next thing, he's knocked me down, and he's climbing the top rope, and I'm thinking, if he hits that move again, I'm not getting up. Right? I can't get up. And all the crowd are thinking, it's over, PAC's going to get it, he's going to be the DWF champion. And then lo and behold, out comes Assassin and shoves him off the top rope. And then starts beating him down and causes a disqualification. So he won by disqualification, which I was annoyed about, because I thought, well, this guy should have beat me at least. Maybe if it wasn't for the title, he should have beat me at least. But, he deserved to win by pinfall. That way, he was awesome. And at a young age, what an amazing, amazing performer he was. And then, obviously, I've realised what's gone on. I've shook the cobwebs off, got up, and I've grabbed Assassin, and I've went for a few punches, and then we've double teamed. I've hit the Platinum finish. He's staggered up, and then, PAC's, jumped off the top rope and flipped and knocked him down, and he's rolled out the ring, and then we've stood tall. I've raised the title over my head, shook his hand and carried on. But what's amazing about that story is that was the only time I ever had like a match with PAC. And what's amazing about this story is I knew from that point he was special. I knew that kid is going somewhere. Because his attitude wasn't, hey, I like being a wrestler. His attitude was, I am going to be a professional wrestler. I am going to achieve this. I am going to do that. PAC wrestled for IWF and then on the 3 count wrestling and all that. I followed his career. Lad's done amazing. He went on to Dragon's Gate in Japan and he was there for 5 years and they all love him there. And he has made it public knowledge that he considers that home and family and friends and all that there. Now, he's gone on to NXT and now he's debuting on Raw. He has made his dream come true. And what's interesting enough is, when I used to come to the ring, I used to have my hood down. And I'd always, at the last minute, I'd pull my hood up. And I'd go like that for the rock and roll sign, or rock on, like platinum. So it'd be like, hood up, that. It'd be that and it'd be up in the air like platinum. What's interesting is Neville stands backwards, and as he turns around, he flips the hood off and puts 2 fingers up like that. But when I first met him, he didn't do that. So maybe that's something he's picked up from me. I'd like to think so because, he made a massive impact on me. He made me truly believe that anything is possible. Because this is a kid from the northeast. This is a kid from Newcastle. I'm a kid from Middlesbrough. This guy from Newcastle has gone on to become a professional wrestler in the biggest company in the world. I'm a massive WWE fan. I'm a massive TNA fan. I like any kind of wrestling. Ring of Honor, Dragon's Gate, Extreme Rising, anything. I love watching wrestling. That's me. I still and will always idolise Matt Hardy. But Adrian Neville, or Neville as he is in the WWE, Ben, to me he's Ben. Or I always remember him as PAC. Right? PAC's the guy that kicked my ass. So, anyway, I remember him as PAC. And he is a massive inspiration to me because he has achieved his dream through hard work, dedication, commitment, and desire. He didn't get, he didn't give up at the first obstacle. He didn't quit and go, oh, well, this guy says I can't be a professional wrestler. Oh, well, I'll leave it. I'll do something else. No. He said, you know what? You think I can't be a professional wrestler. I know I can. Watch me. And that lad, PAC, Ben, will always have my respect. He'll always have my admiration. He'll always, always have my respect. And I will always be a fan because that guy is incredible. And more importantly, not just as a performer, but as a person, he is incredible. And the one thing I found very interesting was that, here we are 11 years on. 11, 12 years on maybe? 2015, David, wake up. Yeah, 11 years on. This lad is where he set out to be. He is in the WWE. He has achieved his dream. And it turns out that one of my best friends in the world, a guy who's like a brother to me, Sir Smurf Little, or Ian, his name is, but his Twitter name is @SirSmurfLittle. It turns out he is Ben's cousin. He's PAC's cousin, and I've known him all this time and not known that he was his cousin. But I do want to go on record and say, 11 years ago, an amazing young talent named PAC kicked the ass of the 10-time DWF champion, Dave Platinum. And, I dare say, had it not been for the interference of Assassin, would have taken the DWF title from me. PAC is an incredible talent. He was incredible back then. He's even more amazing now. Neville now is an amazing, amazing competitor. The things he does in the ring I've never seen before. He is truly the man that gravity forgot. I've got all the time and admiration and respect in the world for PAC, Neville. But to me, he's always going to be Ben. He's always going to be that little kid that came in, bright-eyed, full of passion, full of desire to become a professional wrestler. He will always be that little kid that came in a Newcastle shirt. And he will always be that young lad from the northeast. He'll always be a northeast lad. He'll always be the little Geordie. You know, I'm a Smoggy, I'm a Middlesbrough lad, so, you know, I'm supposed to hate him because he's a Geordie, but I can't bring myself to. The guy is incredible, you know, and yeah, he may have a poor taste in football team like Newcastle, but my taste isn't any better. I support Middlesbrough, so moving on. But Ben is a credit. He's a credit to the North East. He's a credit to Newcastle. He is a credit to the North East. He is a credit to England. He's a credit to anyone that's ever had a dream and not given up on it. He's an ambassador for that. He's a role model, and he's one hell of a guy. So for anyone who wants to know who my greatest ever opponent was in the ring, check out WWE Raw and watch for Neville. Because that guy is something else. As my idol Matt Hardy always says, adios, amigos. And as Platinum always says, if you doubt anything I've said, remember, I'm Dave Platinum.